How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to take a look at the PTR 9C Mp5. We'll start this off with an unboxing. In the nice case we get two magazines. There's no maker information on the mags, but I believe that they are KCIs. I've ran them and they seem to work just fine for not being German. We also get a nice single point sling. However, I'm not a fan of slings on anything, but other people might like it. Either way, it does ship with one. They also do include a rear sight tool, which is actually a pretty nice addition. There's also a paper that shows it passed the tests at the factory, but I'm not going to bore you with that. Let's get right into the main course with the pistol itself. The pistol features a PTR M-Lock handguard, which is a nice practical upgrade if you aren't an Mp5 purist that has to have the wide forend. The pistol also ships with a polymer end cap that has a swivel if you wanted to use that sling. My favorite feature is definitely the welded-on top rail that eliminates the need for the clamp. And the 9C is not threaded, but it does include a tri-lug mount. This Mp5 does actually include the paddle mag release as well as the button. As a quick side note, the pistol will not fit in the case if you have a brace attached, so you will have to cut the foam as I have here. Let's take a look at some accessories and customization options for the Mp5 platform. This is going to be in order of how I did it after owning one for a little while. So obviously the first thing most of us are going to do is stock up on magazines. ETS and KCI both make affordable mags, and Magpul is even rumored to be producing one soon as well. So there's options out there other than the expensive German ones. I really like the translucent look of the ETS mags, and they work well from my experience. I actually picked them up because I had good experiences with their other products, most notably their extended Glock magazines. I also found a magazine coupler on HK Parts and figured why not. They aren't absolutely necessary, but they are cool, and I just wanted one to play around with. They allow you to combine two standard magazines together, thus doubling the capacity on hand by just a quick swap of the mag. Now the downside is obviously that you have a mag protruding off one side of the gun, and that it makes the gun noticeably heavier. The installation is also pretty damn simple. Just be sure to slide it down far enough that both mags will seat in the mag well. And once you're happy with the positioning of the mags, just go ahead and tighten it up and then check your fitment. Since we're not using a sling, we're going to have to address this end cap situation. First things first, we're going to remove all magazines and ammo from the workstation so we don't have any happy little accidents.
And just beat the devil out of them.
Going to go ahead and make sure the chamber's clear. I'm going to pull the bolt back. Well, it's already back. And then I'm going to visually inspect and stick a pinky down there. Just make sure there's nothing hiding in there. Now we're finally going to address this butt plate situation here. Go ahead and pop that pin out. You can use a little hammer, but I think the rubber part of my Allen keys here works pretty good. Just hammer that out. And once you get it too far in there, mine are a little stiff, so I'm going to have to go ahead and use an Allen key to push it the rest of the way through. And once you get that Allen key out, it is going to be under spring pressure, so you're going to have to kind of wrestle with it and be careful because it's going to come out of there pretty quick. Back to the case. So this SB Tactical brace is going to be your first option. It's a side folder, and it kind of resembles one of those B&T or UMP stocks, but it's a brace. So we're going to go ahead and put that on there instead of the end cap. Go ahead and slide it on there. Be careful because it will pop out if you don't hold on to it. And then once you got that, just go ahead and pop your pin in. And if it won't go in like my pin, go ahead and hammer it down with something. I'm going to use the Allen keys again.
Nice.
Remember how I mentioned that wide forend earlier? Yeah. As much as I like the M-Lock one, you just can't go wrong with the classic Mp5 look. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the PTR handguard. It's a well thought out handguard and it's super practical. However, it just doesn't look like an Mp5 handguard to me. The only other one besides the wide forend that I would personally consider using is one of the wide forends with the flashlight. But even then, a lot of those you can't even run a suppressor, and I do want to get a suppressor for this eventually. So just the classic wide forend is pretty much going to be your best bet with one of these, at least in my opinion. Now, just like the handguard, there's nothing wrong with the Mp5 Sights. PTR basically gives you mil-spec Mp5 Sights here. However, EOTechs, bro. I don't know. You could probably put a smaller EOTech on there. I just happen to have a 512 on hand. But, yeah, I think an EOTech on Mp5 is actually a pretty good combo. But like I said, there's absolutely nothing wrong with the iron sights. This was purely a personal decision. And even then, you know, a Hollow Sun or Romeo 5 or anything on here would be fine. So sights are always going to be personal preference, so do whatever you want to do. And once you got everything all hooked up, we're just going to make sure everything still works. And this is the setup I ran for a while. And then, yeah, I did something else, which we're going to look at right now. From the moment I saw this, the first thing I asked is, do they make a telescoping brace? And the answer was no. Until recently. The minute I found out that they were making a telescoping brace, I knew that the side folder's days were numbered. The telescoping brace obviously mimics the 2 or 3 position stock and really completes the look of that MP5 pistol. The installation is just a little trickier than the side folder because there's 2 pieces instead of 1. Now, from my experience, I find it's actually easier to take this back plate off, and we're going to install that first. Just like everything else, just go ahead and push it up to that top piece. And it is under spring pressure, so you got to go ahead and push it down there nice and snug. And then once you get it on there, give it a nice slap. And we're going to go ahead and pop that pin in. Just like so, went in nice and easy. Now you're gonna have to go ahead and pull on this little lever here, and then you can go ahead and take the arms of this brace and slide it all the way in. I really like the way it looks and feels fully extended. It seems to fit me pretty naturally. That's what she said. And then lastly, obviously check function to make sure you didn't break anything. And that's pretty much as far as I've experimented with it, guys. There's a lot more things I would like to do to it, but it's just more of a finance issue at the moment. The one I'm looking at most recently is Franklin Armory HKC1 binary trigger, and HK Parts actually does sell it in a German 3-position pictogram housing, which I think is pretty damn sweet. And then obviously the other one that I'm really into right now is suppressor, but I don't know. There's something about just getting into the class 3 stuff that I guess you just have to get over that hump, and once you do it, you're good. I just haven't brought myself to do it yet, but you know, future's always there to do that. But we're going to go ahead and end it here. Thanks so much for watching. Go ahead and leave a like, comment, subscribe. Hit the bell to get notifications so you can see when we post more stuff. And leave you with that. I'll see you guys in the next one.